everyone, welcome to my channel. I just decided to make this video about a myth that is really confusing me that I've been hearing a lot lately. And the myth is that Plan B one step, so the really popular branded emergency contraception pill, is an abortion pill. I've heard that argument a lot. I think it's preventing a lot of people from actually taking Plan B, which is very beneficial. Again, it is still a family planning method, which we know is beneficial for women who just want to wait to have kids. And I think this myth is really putting people in situations they could have avoided. So, of course, you already know my stance. It is not an abortion pill. So the name of the abortion pills, and correct me if I'm not pronouncing this correctly, but the information is true and accurate. Plan B is made with hormone called levonorgestrel, and I'll put these names in the description box, so if I'm pronouncing it correctly you can still kind of follow along. It's the same hormone that's used in regular birth control pills. Again, the hormone is called levonorgestrel, and the pill that is used for abortion is called mifepristone and also misoprostol. So those two pills are actually used for abortion. They are two completely different things, just the same way that a birth control pill or a patch or anything like that is not considered a form of abortion because you're not actually pregnant yet. And so that's similar to how Plan B works. You're not pregnant yet. And actually, if you are pregnant, it will not work. It won't terminate the pregnancy. It would just be ineffective. So it does contain the same hormone that is used in a lot of different birth control pills. Not all of them, because I know they sometimes have different hormones depending on what works well for your body. But it's a really popular hormone that's used. And what happens is you have to take it within 3 days after you have unprotected sex or just a failed birth control method. So if you know for that month you're not being you weren't taking your pills regularly as you're supposed to, and you're kind of afraid that you may get pregnant, so that's where Plan B would come in. Or if the condom breaks, or if you didn't use a condom at all and no form of protection, that's when you would take Plan B within 3 days or 72 hours. And the sooner after the act you take it, the better it'll work. So Plan B is not as effective as birth control, which is why they say you shouldn't use it as regular birth control. About 7 out of 8 patients find that it prevents pregnancy for them, or that it works for them. So it's not as effective, but the sooner that you take it, the more likely it is to actually do what it's supposed to do. Going along with that, well, if it's not an abortion pill, how exactly does it work? Okay, it works similarly to a birth control pill. Mainly, it's going to just stop the release of your eggs or ovaries. Okay? And if they've already been released, then it's going to try to prevent fertilization, try to prevent the meeting of the egg and the sperm, or it's going to try to prevent implantation of the already fertilized egg. So depending on where your body is in the process at the time that you take it, it may act differently. But mainly what it tries to do is stop the release of the egg, and it would probably prevent implantation by shedding the lining of the uterus. So it's less likely to work, like I mentioned, if you're already pregnant. So it's not going to terminate the pregnancy or cause abortion or anything like that. If you're already pregnant, it's not going to work for you. Also, if you try to take it twice in the same cycle, it's less likely to work for you. So the hormone is at a higher dose. It does have side effects for your body. It may make your period irregular after that for maybe 1 or 2 months after. Maybe lighter, heavier, shorter, longer, whichever. Headache, fatigue, what else? Vomiting, abdominal cramps are some things that you can get with the pill because it is a higher dose of hormone. But it is generally safe. So you can get that with a lot of different medications you take, and even birth control, I'm sure. It's generally safe, and going along with that, it's also less likely to work if you vomit within 2 hours after you take the pill. That's when you're going to want to call your doctor about that. But this isn't meant to be a long video. It's just very short, and that's a myth that I really had on my heart to dispel, because I'm not sure who circulated that or where it came from. I think people were kind of thrown off with the idea that you could still prevent pregnancy after you just had unprotected sex, and so they kind of went off with that and said, oh, well, they must be lying to us. This must really be aborting, pregnancy. But first off, okay, you do not get pregnant immediately after you have unprotected sex, people. You don't. And the egg doesn't get fertilized immediately afterward either. So there is a time period before you can actually become pregnant. That's why you can't just have unprotected sex and take a pregnancy test and say, oh, it's, I'm pregnant. It doesn't work like that. So yes, plan B within that 3-day period, within that 72-hour period, has a 7 out of 8 chance. At the beginning, it'll diminish within those 72 hours, sorry. It has a chance of preventing a pregnancy. So in my opinion, I would encourage young women to definitely take this pill. It's over the counter. There are no age restrictions. You don't need a prescription. And you can definitely go on their website to look up locations near you. I tried my zip code. I live in Philadelphia, and there were tons of places in the area, almost every pharmacy I could think of, Walmart's, Targets, that sell this pill. So I would not encourage you to use it as a regular birth control method, but if you're ever in a situation where you think there's a possibility that you could get pregnant, I would encourage you to use it. Thank you.